Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela Farias, and I'm here to talk to you about the doggy don'ts, the right way to training your dogs. The people I'm trying to get a hold of are the United States Animal Health Association, dog owners, dog trainers, shelters like the Humane Society, and major pet stores such as PetSmart or Pet Supermarket. The issue at hand is that many people usually tune in onto the Dog Whisperer, a show brought to you by National Geographic, and they are there to learn about the ins and outs of dog training to see how they could curb their own dog's behavior. And little do they know that Cesar Millan's training methods are known as alpha training. They're known where you, the owner, shows the dog that you are the alpha of the pack and that what you say is the word of law. This training follows a more discipline focused method where you punish the dog for showing any negative behavior. And this type of training only fosters fears in the dog, making them obey you, but not out of respect or understanding, but out of fear. So, why is this a problem? This builds a foundation based off fear, having the dog fear the owner instead of trust and respect it. And it only fixes the problem in the short term, but not long term, meaning that if you were to train the dog to not want to bark at the mailman or attack anyone specific, you can use aggressive behaviors in order to curb them at the moment, but in the long term, they're still going to harbor those aggressive feelings to the mailman or anyone else. And it will increase dog aggression. This type of training allows the human or the dog to learn aggressive behaviors from their human. And because of it, not only they're going to be aggressive in general, but they're going to be aggressive towards their owners. And not to mention, it builds a sense of distrust between the owner and dog when there's unequal power balance and unfairness in the pack. The truth behind the dominance focused training was based on research done in the 60s. It was showed that individual wolves in a pack of wolves would attack to ascertain their dominance, and they'll be aggressive towards other members. They were usually referred to as the alphas, meaning that they're the head of the pack, the one who's in charge. And the dominance training focuses more on the position of power that the human is going to have, making sure that the owner is the alpha, even if they have to use force if necessary. But, as we know, majority of early wolf research was done with captive wolves in a closed environment. Have been more research where people have been out on the field studying the wolves and learning them out in observational studies, and they saw that they aren't as aggressive as they were thought to be in the 60s, mostly because they're in the wild and they're in their natural habitat. And there is no signification of alpha members in the packs. They're more in a familiar settings like mother or father and then their cubs, and as they get older and find their own mate, then they become the quote-unquote alpha of their new pack, should they make their own pack. And by using aggression, as I mentioned before, you do lose the dog's trust towards you because they see you as your sole benefactor. And to be able to cut that trust, they're not going to be able to believe in you anymore. So as we know, there's no true alpha in wolves. They follow the same patterns as humans, that there's the breeding pair that is the leaders of the pack. And they also do not fight to get on the top of the pack. They are all a coherent family, and all the aggressive behaviors you would see in the with the discipline-based training is all learned from their nurture instead of their actual nature of the dogs. The theories that I'm currently using today to help explain this is learned helplessness and social comparison. Learned helplessness is the sense of hopelessness and resignation learned when a human or animal perceives no control over repeated bad events. We see this in Seligman's experiment where the dogs, after being shocked at random over and over again, the group of dogs who were shocked and did not have any way to escape the pain became passive when they attempted to actually escape, since before it was inescapable and nothing they did would help at all. And for social comparison, evaluating one's opinions and abilities by comparing oneself with others. So, dog friendly communities, members all come in together and share information. They always share who knows the what's around dogs. And Cesar Millan is a prominent figure in the dog training community, but in the dog community as well. And for him to be sharing this very discipline based, focused training methods to everyone, more and more people are going to be misinformed and use it than when they should follow a much more positive way of training. So, the steps. Step 1, dispel the alpha myth. Dispel the myth that says that there has to be an alpha member in your pack, or in any pack for that matter. You have to tell them the facts, how the research behind it in the 60s were based off animals in captivity. So you have that variable that ruins the results. You can share them these facts via pamphlets, flyers, or videos. Just get the word out, get them informed, let them know about the hazards of training their dog and following this incorrect information. Step 2, show them the way. Give information about positive training methods. Start in pet stores and in shelters. Spread the word again. Let them know that there is an alternative that is a lot better and would benefit not only you, the owner, but your dog's own well-being. Step 3, teach a more positive focused training. Do so in a workshop fashion, in a way where it's a lot more hands-on and allows the owner to actually learn the proper teaching methods and learn how to give a more positive focused or positive reinforcement type training. And you make sure that it's available for all backgrounds, whether or not you're in a poor or rich neighborhood, or whether or not you are able to just make it on time. It should be something that it's available for everyone. You should probably do it in shelters or at a pet store, somewhere where mostly all dog owners would go congregate in, where they would go for a pet store. They would go regularly to pick up food, make it as like pamphlets again, and share with them the information on this positive training. And step 4, make a guide, an affordable guide to basics, something that people can get when they get a new dog, something that's easy to understand. It doesn't have to be that fancy. You could just say, give them a treat whenever they do a good task, or when the mailman's there and they start barking, give them a treat instead of giving them punishment. Show that positive reinforcement really will benefit and will help your dog. And then step 5, you have to start at the beginning. This is the final step and also the beginning for future steps, because we want to start training shelter dogs to follow the positive reinforcement methods. With starting there, we would help owners who will be getting these dogs that already know these good behaviors and already understand how it goes, therefore allowing it for people to get more accustomed to this method and making it more popular, because more and more dogs are starting to follow it as well. With this method, it will be a lot easier because you'll have volunteers who are able to do hands-on training with the dog, and these volunteers could probably share their information with other people and spread the word even more, which is ultimately one of the important things. The problems. These are the problems that can arise when trying to implement the steps from the following slides. The first one is people are set in their ways. They may have raised dogs following the discipline methods all their lives and raised multiple dogs, claiming that their dogs are the best listeners and best obeyers all around. And it might have worked for those dogs at the time, but show them also the facts. Show them how much better dogs would be mentally when focused on a more positive reinforcement or positive method of training. Tell them how they're really not following you as the pack leader, they're more following you out of fear. And show them the facts. Give them the information from the research. Another problem is availability. People have lives and would want something that fits in their busy schedule and in their wallet. So for making the workshops, we should make them in community places, somewhere that is available for everyone, as mentioned before. Make sure that they're free as well, because that would, again, help with everyone. and make sure that it's there for people to use. So, in summation, dogs are more complicated than they look. There really is no true alpha in the dog or wolf world. Another thing, a more disciplined, heavy training is detrimental to their dog. It builds a foundation of fear and distrust to the owner. And then positive reinforcement is shown to be a better alternative. Dogs just love to be loved. And then another thing is you got to tell more people about these training methods. Don't keep them to yourself. Spread the word. And then here are my references. And thank you very much for your time. Hope you have a wonderful